Now we are going to discuss the SOLIDWORKS interface. The screen you are viewing is a result of me launching the SOLIDWORKS software. This is the opening screen. Now before we go into the part, assembly, or the drawing environment, let us take a look at what we have on the screen in front of us. In the upper left-hand corner, we have the standard toolbar. We can create a new document, open an existing document, save, print, along with other options. If we select the word SOLIDWORKS, a flyout menu appears, giving us access to several drop-down menus. File, View, Tools, and Help. I recommend that you pin this menu open, and you will see the standard toolbar is docked to the right. In the upper right-hand corner, we have a window for search commands. This allows you to find and run SOLIDWORKS commands. Now let's begin a new document. I am going to select the new icon. The new SOLIDWORKS document dialog box appears, and notice we have three environments: part, assembly, and drawing. I am going to select part and then select OK. Now, when you first go into the part environment, it's always good to get into the practice of making sure your units are set correctly. Right now, it says my units are mmgs, which is millimeter, gram, second. If you need to be working in a different unit, you can simply select the units from this menu. I'm going to leave this at mmgs. Now, this area of the screen is called the graphics area. This is where you create your sketches, parts, assemblies, and drawings. On the far left-hand side of the screen, we have our Feature Manager design tree. Now, to better demonstrate this, I am going to open a part file. I'll select Open, and the part file appears on the screen. Now let's take another look at the Feature Manager design tree. This Feature Manager design tree has all of the parameters that were used to create this model. This consists of sketches and features. If you recall, SOLIDWORKS is a parametric feature-based modeler. That means that we can go back to this Feature Manager design tree in the part environment, or the assembly environment, or the drawing environment, and make changes. And those changes will be reflected in the other environments. In SOLIDWORKS 2015, a new feature called Dynamic Reference Visualization was added to display graphical relationships between items in the Feature Manager design tree. Dynamic Reference Visualization allows you to see the parent-child relationships. To turn this option on, right-click the part name or assembly name and select the Dynamic Reference Visualization icon. When you hover your cursor over an item, you will see a blue arrow pointing from the child to the parent. If one of the references is not visible, like Cut Extrude 8, because it's under another item, a blue arrow will point to the item that contains the reference, and a text box will appear next to the blue arrow. Now, let's take a look at the top of the screen. Here we have what we call the Command Manager. And notice we have different tabs, which brings up different ribbons. We have a Feature ribbon, Sketch ribbon, Evaluate ribbon, and then if we right mouse click on any one of the tabs, we see a menu allowing us to open up other ribbons. In the top middle of the graphics area, we see a heads up view toolbar. This is a handy way to get to some of the most common commands that you use when creating sketches, parts, assemblies, and drawings. For example, zoom to fit, zoom to area. Here's a very useful one: previous view. We then have our different orthographic views: front, top, bottom, left, right, and rear. And if you have this button here activated, the view selector, by simply tapping the space bar, you can select a face to give you a certain view, for example, the front view, or the right-hand side view, or the top view, or an isometric view, and that isometric view can be from any one of the corners, or even a bottom view. Let's go back to an isometric view and select the spacebar one more time. Now notice we can also select the edges. But if you look closely, there's a couple edges and corners we cannot get to. For example, this back edge here and this back corner. So how do we get to those? We simply hold down the Alt key and it lights up or highlights that back edge. So this view cube is very handy. I think you're going to find this very easy to use and a quick way to move your view around on the screen to give you different perspectives of the view. Along with that, we have a drop-down menu, which allows us to view or not view items on the screen, along with some appearance settings. Now to the far right, we have this item called the task pane. And in the task pane, we can do many different things. If we expand it, we have access to many SolidWorks tutorials. Very handy. Along with these Infinite Skills video lessons, you will find many tutorials inside of the SolidWorks software. We also have a selection for the design library. We can go out to different vendor sites and pull components in to our parts and assemblies. We can also create drawing views, change appearance, and set custom properties. A lot of information here, more than we can cover in this lesson, but it gives you an idea that you do have many resources here. Now, if we go into the assembly environment, you will see that the user interface looks very similar. What is different is the command manager. You will have different tabs, different ribbons, because we are in a different environment. And the same is true with the drawing environment. Again, the screen looks the same. However, we do have a drawing sheet here, but we still have the feature manager design tree along with the command manager and some different ribbons. So that gives you a good idea of the SolidWorks 2014 user interface. Now let's move on to the next lesson.